My throat was dry, tasting bitter with bile and terror. The yellow light from the ceiling swung back and forth, making the shadow of the man opposite me flicker like a demon. "Take it!" he roared. His voice cracked with excitement, or perhaps madness. He threw a rusty revolver onto the rotting wooden table between us. The dry metallic clatter made my heart skip a painful beat. I groaned, trying to curl up in the iron chair, my hands loosely tied in front of me, trembling uncontrollably. "Please, I beg you, I have money," I stammered, tears streaming down my face. "Shut up!" He slammed the table. In his other hand, he held a crumpled piece of paper, bringing it close to his eyes to read, then glared at me. "You have to say the line right. Read it again. Today I die or you die. Say it." I swallowed hard, staring at the black gun. "Today I die or you die." He laughed maniacally, but his eyes darted around constantly, sweat pouring off him like water. He didn't look like someone holding the power of life and death. He looked more like a cornered animal. He picked up the gun and popped the cylinder out. 6 holes, 2 golden bullets sitting next to each other, 4 empty holes. "Here are the rules, you dog," he said, his voice trembling slightly but trying to sound fierce. 2 bullets side by side. I shoot first, then you. No one skips a turn. The last survivor wins. He spun the cylinder. Whir, whir. The sound of the ball bearing spinning sounded like the Grimm's Reaper's scythe sharpening against the floor. Click. The cylinder closed. He raised the gun to his own temple. His hand shook so violently that the barrel tapped against his skull. He squeezed his eyes shut, mumbling something incoherent. I saw the veins in his neck bulge. Click! No explosion. He let out a long breath, his body slumping like a sack of rice. He threw the gun toward me and screamed, "Your turn! Shoot! Shoot now! Don't make me wait!" I held the gun with both hands, a cold sensation creeping through my fingertips and down my spine. It was heavy. Is this the weight of death? I raised the gun to my temple and closed my eyes. God, I don't want to die. Click! I opened my eyes wide. I was still alive. The man opposite me snatched the gun from my hands. He was panting heavily. He reached out, intending to spin the cylinder again to start his new turn. By the instinct of gamblers, he wanted to reset his fate. "Wait!" I screamed, feigning absolute panic, lunging forward. "Don't spin, you idiot! Don't spin!" He froze, looking at me in confusion. "What did you say?" "Listen to me," I said urgently, face smeared with snot and tears. "There were 2 bullets next to each other. I just fired on an empty chamber. If you spin again, your probability of dying is 2 in 6, which is 33%. Do you understand?" He frowned. It seemed the math was seeping into his stressed brain. "But if you don't spin," I continued, voice trembling but persuasive, "the rule is empty follows empty. In the 4 empty slots, only 1 empty slot is next to a bullet. Your death rate is only 1 in 4. That's just 25%. Don't spin. I want you to live so I have a chance to live." He was a middle-aged man. Looking at his messy, tucked-in shirt, I guessed he was an office worker or an accountant. This mathematical logic hit right at his rational psychology. He believed that a coward scared to death like me was clinging to the fragile hope that if he lived, I might live a little longer. He lowered his hand. He didn't spin the cylinder. "You're right," he mumbled, eyes red. 25% is lower than 33%. Yes, lower. He put the gun to his head. This time he was decisive. He wanted to end this nightmare. Click! The sound of the firing pin hitting the empty casing rang out crisply. He collapsed on the table, sobbing uncontrollably, the cry of someone who just escaped death's door, mad and miserable. He slid the gun across the table toward me. "It's done," he wailed through tears. "I won! According to your calculation, the risk skyrockets after this turn. You're dead for sure. End it. I followed the script." I slowly placed my hand on the cold gun handle, and the very moment my index finger curled around the trigger, the trembling in my body vanished. I sat up straight, stretched my arms, and my bones cracked. I pushed my sweat-matted hair back, revealing a high forehead and eyes that were unusually alert. No more fear, no more begging, only absolute silence. "Your acting was terrible," I said. My voice was deep and flat, calm as if critiquing a bad meal. The beginning, your screaming, lacked power, and the crying at the end, a bit melodramatic. I noted in the script that you should repress the anger in your chest. The man jerked his head up. His eyes widened, staring at me as if seeing a ghost. What are you saying? Shoot! I won! Release my wife and kids! You promised if I played the killer and won, you'd let them go." "Ah, that," I smiled, a smile as thin as a razor blade. "I promised I would consider it, not that I would release them. You're an accountant. Didn't you read the contract carefully?" His face drained of blood. He tried to lunge at me. "You bastard! Where is my child?" Click. I raised the gun, not pointing at my own head, but straight at his left chest. He froze, looking at the black muzzle. What are you doing? The rule says shoot yourself in the head." "That is the rule for the victim. As for me, I am the director." I tilted my head, admiring his face twisted in despair. "Do you know why I told you not to spin the cylinder?" He shook his head unconsciously, tears flowing again. "Because I memorized the position. I knew exactly where the bullets were. If you listened to me and didn't spin, then after your empty turn, the bullet would definitely rotate to the barrel when it passed to my hand." I sighed, feigning disappointment. "I gave you a chance. If you spun the cylinder, you had 67% chance to live, and I would lose track of the bullet. But you chose to trust your enemy instead of trusting your own luck. Your survival skills are too poor." "Don't." He raised his hand, voice cracking. "My wife, my child." "Don't worry. The whole family will be reunited soon." I pulled the trigger. Bang! The first bullet tore through his chest, knocking him back into the chair. Blood splattered on the table, onto the crumpled script. But I didn't stop. The real excitement was just beginning. Bang! The second one, definitely a hit, because 2 bullets were side by side. Click, empty. Click, empty. Bang! I had secretly slipped a 3rd bullet in when I pretended to drop the gun on the previous turn. A little surprise. 5 shots in a row. The room was filled with the acrid smell of gunpowder and the metallic stench of blood. The man's body lay draped over the chair, mangled, his eyes still staring wide at the ceiling. I stood up, took a handkerchief from my pocket to wipe my fingerprints off the gun handle, then carefully placed it in the corpse's hand. I adjusted his posture to look like a suicide or a clumsy internal gang cleanup. I pulled out my phone and dialed a familiar number. Hello? Yeah, it's done. Terrible actor. Handle the audience in the warehouse. Don't leave any traces. I put out my phone and stepped out of the dark basement. The bright sunlight outside made me squint. I have to admit, playing the victim is quite fun. It's just a pity finding a good co-star is so hard.